This morning I want us to learn how to cut a simple Ankara knicker or short pants, whatever you call it. That's what we're going to learn this morning. And before we start, I would like us to, for people who don't know how the basic measurements needed, I would like us to know the basic measurements needed. And the basic measurements needed are the waist, the hip, the lap, and the length of the knicker. The waist is actually for me to know, or for us to know, the length of elastic to cut, because this particular knicker or short pant, whatever, is going to be having an elastic band, something like this. So the length of the elastic that we're going to use, that's the essence of the waist here. And then the hip, for getting the crotch depth, then lap normal, and then the length which we need to know as well. Is a casual knicker, and the materials we'll be using for this tutorial is an Ankara fabric. Then my scissors, my chalk, and then my scissors, my chalk, my tape. Then proceeding, we'll use the machine, the thread, and then eyelet we're going to use for this the hole, because I'm going to be putting a trouser rope or a knicker rope, whatever you call it. We're passing it through the eyelets. So let's start with the measurement. It's actually not my own anyway, it's a client's own, not my own, but then I have to show you how to measure it when you want to measure your client. So this is the waist. This is how to measure the waist. So here I have 30.75 as my waist measurements. Then come down here, take the hip measurement of the client. Please let your tape pass through the highest point of your glute or your client's glute. So this is it. Make sure it passes well and is not loose, because this is actually casual knicker, but it's going to be somehow fitted. It's not going to be loose. That loose is going to be okay for the client. Then the hip measurement I got, my hip is 36.25, and then the lap, the client lap, pass the tape through the in between the leg. And then please don't measure it straight, because if you measure it straight, it's going to be tight. Let it not be straight like this, maybe just like this. Not going to give the client enough room, because it's a casual knicker, not a body con kind of dress. And the fabric to be used is not a stretchy one, so no need measuring it to be straight and tight, because if it's a stretchy material, okay, you measure it, then maybe the elasticity can actually accommodate any other part of the body. Then the lap, please measure slanted. So my lap here is 23. And the length of the knicker, length of the shorts, whatever. Here I'm taking from my navel, my belly button, to here. This is actually where the knicker is going to be on the reach on the body of the client, somewhere here. So mine is 18. Has what I have on the measurement, the book there is 19. So let's proceed to cut the measurement and chalk. for the cutting. Actually, this material is a leftover fabric of the client's material after making a bubble gown for her. So we decided to use it and make a pant for her, a casual pant for her. So I've actually folded my fabric into two. First to get do some calculations on how to get the crotch depth of this particular short pant we are making now. So here we have the hip, which is actually the basic reason why I took this hip measurement. So to get a crotch depth, we have to divide by 4. Divide the hip of the client by 4 and get, here we have 44 divided by 4, we have 11. On some cases I add 1, but since this one is since this is a casual knicker that needs to be free at the crotch area, I'm adding 1 to the crotch depth. So 11 plus 1 is 12. This is the crotch. To adding a crotch extension, I normally add 2.5 depending on how big the person is. This is a 44 hip, so I'm actually adding it 2.5. But normally, to get the normal crotch extension, I divide by 44 by 16. Whatever I get is the, so 44 divided by 16 is going to give me 2.75. So basically this 16 hip divided by 16 is basically used to divide to get the crotch extension. Then this waist measurement is here for just the waist, the elastic band. No, actually the elastic we are going to use, because this is a free knicker, is going to be worn without the zip. So I'm actually going to use the hip on the waist, so that if the person is wearing it's going to freely pass. Then the lap measurement divided by 2 is 14, and then the length of the knicker, nothing to divide, it's just a vertical measurement, so we're not dividing it. So let's proceed to cutting right now. It's actually a simple knicker. It's a simple. So first of all, we measure the vertical measurements. The length of this short is going to be 19, and we're adding 2 inches allowance for folding. 2 inches for folding, or if you want to make it 3 as well, it's not bad, just to make the, maybe if you want a bold fold on the hem. So let's go ahead and do 3. So 19 divided by 19 plus 3, we're getting 21. So this is the edge of this material. This is the side where they wrote the name of this fabric, so it's actually not going to be part of this. I'm not going to be using it. I'll cut it off. I'm going to use it as the baseline for the side. So this edge is straight. I'm going to use it like that. So I'm starting from this edge, 21 to here. And we already got our crotch depth. Remember, so 21 this side, and then look, this is the start point, baseline. So the crotch depth, remember this is going to have a band, so I'm actually going to minus from the up 1.5 inch, so to get my crotch depth. The crotch depth is 12. Mark on the both sides so you'll be able to get your straight line here. I'm not having a ruler, so this is it. So horizontally the crotch width is 12 plus 2.5, which is here. 12 inches plus 2.5 is 14.5. So on this part, same line, the hip is what we are going to use for both the waist, so the hip is 11. I'm going to be adding 1/2 inch for just the stitch for sewing. So for us to have a small cuff at the waist side, because we know we've done women are curvy, or human beings are curvy in nature, so I'm going in by 1 inch, and then the hip divided by 4 is 11 plus 1/2, 11.5, or 11. I'm putting 1/2 from here just for the sewing, so the curve is 1/2, and then 11.2 here on this side. Then mark straight line. Forgive me, I didn't remember to get my meter rule. So for the crotch curve, go up by 2 inches and then 1 inch from here to get your perfect curve. So I'm actually going to work with getting the center of this knicker or pant. I have 14.5, so 14.5 divided by 2, we're going to have 7.25. So 7.25, 14.5, 7.25. So now I'm going to mark the lap. Lap is 28 divided by 2. 28 divided by 2 is 14. So from this point, I'll come down by 3 inches. So 14, we have our 7 here and 14 here. So, and then connect to this point. I want the down part of it to be as big as the lap area, so I'm actually minusing 1 inch from the lap measurement. So 14 minus 1 is going to give us 13. So 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So this is it. On the center line as well, I'm measuring from there. Place the middle of your value on the center line and then mark. And this is 13 here. So connect the two lines. So this is the shape of our knicker, our short. So remember I added ½ inch here for the waist. And the reason why this line is coming inside somehow is that I don't want a panda to be popping out, so that's why I'm having this line coming in here like this. That's why I decided not to add ½ inch to make it a very straight line. Let it relax. So this is our pants. The front side is ready. I believe you can see the lines. Remember here we removed 1½ inches for the band. So I'm cutting now, and pay attention to how I'm going to cut, especially the hem side, the down part. Remember I added 3 inches for the folding. For the folding. So whatever I'm going to cut from the under, from the hem, I will stop at the 3 inches. And then fold up, so that whenever I'm going to be folding it on the machine, I'm not going to have something that is short. Because this is it. I'm folding it twice like this. Check it. 1.5 and 1.5 up. This is accurate, it's correct. Remember the length of our short pan is 19. So this is 19. So I'll now cut. not much allowance, no allowance at the front pattern of your when it comes to trousers and trousers, normal trousers and or pants or knicker, anyone for. Then the back is where we're going to put allowance. Remember, what we are cutting is a casual short pant, a casual short pant. So this is also, I'm going to use this as a basic line too, this particular black area. So we go again for the back. The length should be equal on the downside, and here I'm going to make sure I have 2 inches here, extra 2 inches here, because this is the back piece and we are going to be adding allowance. That's where we are putting our allowance for this short pant. So, and then the crotch extension. Please, this is not a male trouser, so what we got from that calculation, we got the back crotch extension 2.75. So I'm putting everything, and I'm also adding 1/4 inch just to complete it 3. For small space for the boot to be accommodated, remember this is a female pant, not a male pant. I'm coming down here from here by 1/2 inch, and then up here I'm going up by 1 inch. 1 inch. I'm moving backwards by 1.5 because the woman has boots and this person has hip. If you can check the difference between the waist and her waist and her hip, it's actually a 10-inch difference. 34 waist and 44 hip, 10 inches. So, and then the 1.5 inch I removed here, I'm not going to throw it away. I'm adding it up here, 1.5 inches, and then I'm adding a half of an inch again, because this is the waist. This is the waist, and we are using elastic band, and the elastic band we are using here, we have the whole of the hip. We didn't use the normal waist measurement. We are using the hip here. So I'm adding 1/2 inch just for stitching. So I'm going to be slanting it from this point to this point. Drawing a slanted line, and then this is the hip. I'm adding 1.5 inch cheese allowance, and I'm connecting from here to here. Here I'm adding just 1 inch allowance for the stitching, because it's not the lap. We are coming down with the lap to the knee, so it already has enough allowance for the closing. So here I'm making a slant from here to here. Sorry, I don't have my curve ruler, so I'm making a freehand. So this is it. Here's the shape. It's okay now, it's fine. So I have to cut it. We're going to the pockets because it's going to have a pocket. Cutting the pockets. I'm using the hip measurement for the waistband. Then I'll add 2 inches. The material is remaining. I told you it's a leftover fabric. So have 46. Here is 23. But 6 divided by 2 is 22. Then I said I'm going to cut the width of the fabric we're using is 2.5, so 2.5 into 2 is 5 inches. Continue more tutorials on how to make different kind of designs. This channel is actually for fashion tutorials. We are going to learn fashion. I also have to mark the back of this ones. Please now. I will be cutting this out first. I have to get something straight. I hope you're understanding this whole process. If there's any way you're confused, don't feel to write it on the comment section. Your questions, ask on the comment section. So here we go. I'm also going to shape it here. Going in by 1.5. Just cut the pocket. So I'll just, if I go to the sewing machine, what I'll now do is to sew and turn, and then put the other side of it. That's all for the cutting. The next video I'll be bringing you the sewing, the process of sewing of this shorts, and then the final look. See you. Bye. Okay. So when will you
Is it the no front, no charge the front. Let me see the front. Aisha. It's cute.